Irish people love their Triton showers, so it may come as surprising that we're asking you to get out of the shower! Naturally, being a Triton shower, you won't want to, and so we're gently reminding you to save water by taking the Triton 5-minute challenge. So, towels at the ready? You'll feel as good when you get out of the shower as you did when you were in it. Triton, for a cleaner conscience.
Welcome to Tralee for round 2 of the Triton Showers National Rally Championship. But before we look forward to today's action, let's take a quick look back at round 1, the Midland Moto Stages.
A magnificent Midland Moto Stages rally kick-started the latest season of Triton Showers National Rally Championship action, and if the Longford opener was anything to go by, we're in for all the thrills and spills imaginable throughout the rest of the 8-event calendar. Midland's early March rally was won in impressive fashion by the Volkswagen Polo R5 of Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan. The duo led from Midland's first of 9 stages to seal a controlled 10.7-second victory over Matt Edwards and David Moynihan. After an intense battle with the 3-time British rally champion, reigning national champion Josh Moffat had to settle for 3rd in this year's opening round. He fell 0.7 seconds shy of Edwards after a back-and-forth tussle for Midland's runner-up spot. The Midland Moto Stages rally showcased the searing speed of Ireland's top modified contenders, with Gary Kiernan and John McCabe having to pull out all the stops in their race against the fellow Ford Escort crew of Mark Alcorn and Donald McElhaney. Kiernan took the modified victory in the end by 4.9 seconds from Alcorn, who had some late dramas on Midland's shiny wet roads. Jack McKenna and Damien Doherty won 2/3 of Midland's rapid stages to win the opening round of the Junior National Rally Championship. Tralee hosted round 2 of the 2023 Triton Showers National Rally Championship at the home of Ireland's famous Rose. A maxed out list of rally crews were hoping their championship credentials would burst into bloom on the first Circuit of Kerry Rally since 2019. Josh Moffat and Keith Moriarty opened the road in their Hyundai i20 R5. Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan were hoping to combine the experience of their recent Midlands Moto victory with last year's Killarney Rally of the Lakes win to challenge Monaghan's ever-present pace setter in Kerry. Darren Gass was joined by Declan Boyle in the top 4, with Donegal's 3-time National Rally champion debuting as Citroen C3 Rally 2, similar to that of Gass's.
150 drivers will take part in 3 fast stages, repeated 3 times. Now, let's go talk to some of the crews.
There's not going to be huge gaps between. You've only 2 12 kilometres and a 6 kilometre stage, so the gaps are going to be small, I would imagine.
Yeah, the gaps are only going to be small, and the gaps are only going to be bigger if you make a mistake or you're not up for the task, you know. So, look, it's going to be great racing, hey. Yeah, and hopefully, yeah, thereabouts.
Very fast and flowing, it should suit us okay, I think so.
And I don't think the gaps, like, there are only 2 12 kilometres and a 6 kilometre stages, so you can't afford to snooze on any of them.
No, definitely not. It's quite short in general there, but yeah, look at it's going to be the same for everybody there, so we just have to push on.
You're obviously enjoying the race, and great racing there in Midland.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, yeah, and it kind of gave me a bug to keep going, so try to get a budget together and do the rest of the year, I think is the plan, you know, just see how it goes.
The level is very high. I know you've done a lot in Europe, but the level is very, very high here in Ireland.
Yeah, it's as high as it is anywhere in Europe, you know. It's top. The guys here are at the top of their game, you know what I mean. There's probably 10 lads that could win this rally, you know what I mean. So it's yeah, it's good, you know.
No, it's good. It's consistent today. It's going to be dry the whole day, so that should be fast from the word go now.
Josh Moffat's been a slow starter so far in 2023, yet to lead a rally after the opening stage. But he set that record straight on the Circuit of Kerry's opener, blitzing the Mount Eagle timesheets to take an early 3.4-second lead. Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan weren't abundantly impressed with their Stage 1 efforts, but still, they were the only ones within touching distance of Moffat's mega effort. Daniel Barry and Lorcan Moore survived their scare under trees at the start of the stage, completing the 12.8-kilometre test in 3rd. Darren Gass was left speechless by Moffat's benchmark, lying down in 7th after the first stage. Daniel Cronin and Donncha Burke struggled to find their rhythm aboard their polo, finishing the opener in 9th, while Andrew Purcell was pleased to make it further than he did on the Midlands Moto stages. Although such was the pace of Kerry's modified contenders, Purcell was down in 14th. Yes, the modifieds were at it again, upsetting the odds to finish the opening stage well within the top 10 positions. Mark Alcorn lived up to his reputation, reporting a day's worth of drama on Kerry's very first test. Despite the drama, the Donegal man was fastest in two-wheel drive, setting the 4th fastest time overall. The Darien of Kevin Gallagher and Ryan Moore was Alcorn's nearest challenger, 5.4 seconds behind. Their efforts were hindered after catching Tommy Doyle's Hyundai i20 midway through the stage. Doyle had seeped time early on with a spin on one of Mount Eagle's gripless junctions, finishing stage 1 in 39th. Scotland's David Bogie was just a second further back in his dreamy Ford Escort. He was happy with a strong start that was good enough to complete the top 6 overall. One of those less impressed was Declan Boyle. He was getting acquainted with his new Citroën in all the wrong ways as it lost power steering on stage 1. A spin only added insult to injury as he lost over 40 seconds over the stage and was down in 40th overall. Josh Moffat and Keith Moriarty made it a hat-trick of fastest times on the Circuit of Kerry's 2nd and 3rd stages. Their early morning performance under the springtime sun was unmatched by anyone as they held a 7.9 second lead heading into Kerry's first service halt. Callum Devine was happy to return to the welcoming arms of his service area. The Derry driver was grappling with his polo setup, struggling with its braking in the dry but slippery conditions. He stayed focused though to limit the time loss, ensuring rally victory was still to play for as he held 2nd after stage 3. Daniel Barry conceded 3rd to Kevin Gallagher's rocketing Darien T90 on stage 3. Gallagher set a brace of 3rd fastest times through Headley's Bridge and Desmond's Grave to leap into the modified lead and the overall podium positions. Initial modified pace setter Mark Alcorn lost his two-wheel drive lead courtesy of a collision with a bank on Headley's Bridge. He threaded through the rest of stage 2 with caution, fearing his wheel was broken, but survived to complete the rally's top 5 positions after stage 3. Growing in confidence, Daniel Cronin jumped 3 places over stage 2 and 3 to finish the opening loop in 6th overall. 3.3 seconds separated him from Darren Gass, who lost his hold on 6th with a spin on stage 3. Richard Moffat, Gary Kiernan and Chris O'Callaghan were locked in an early fight for 3rd in the modifieds. Moffat held a 4.3 second advantage over Kiernan. A spin on stage 2 though cost Kiernan 10 seconds. But a return to form on stage 3 had Moffat Starlet in his sights. Meanwhile, O'Callaghan's Escort was only 1.4 adrift of Kiernan after setting a time through Desmond's Grave just 6 seconds shy of Josh Moffat's overall benchmark. David Bogey's dream start came crashing down around him as he spun his Escort off the road on stage 2, plummeting down to 15th overall. Mechanical issues forced him to retire in service after stage 3. We take a quick break now, as without these advertisers, this show wouldn't be possible.
Down here so far, and Josh Moffat is in the lead.
Yeah, Kirsty. 3 fastest times in 3 stages. The stages are short, as everyone has been saying in the interviews, 12 kilometres and just 6k. But he's a 7.9 advantage over Callum Devine. Callum not that happy, doesn't look that settled in the car, was complaining about braking on the earlier stages. Then up to third place is Kevin Gallagher in the Darien. He showed great promise in Midland, but he had some issues on the stages with spins and that. But he's shown his form there. He's gone ahead of Daniel Barry. Daniel 2.6 further behind. And then second in the modifieds is Mark Alcorn. So it's going to be a good race with 6 stages remaining.
A setup change in service had Callum Devine edging closer to Kerry's pace setter Josh Moffat. Devine's Currangate Polo R5 was only 1.3 off Moffat's fastest time on stage 4. Moffat's 4 fastest times in a row gave him a 9.2 second lead over Devine. Mark Alcorn had a rare drama-free run through stage 4, flying in 5th position overall. Less than 5 seconds separated Alcorn's Escort, Daniel Barry's Skoda and Kevin Gallagher's Darien in 3rd. Still searching for a better feeling in the polo, Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan improvised with another setup change ahead of stage 5. The tweak paid off with their first fastest time of the rally, reducing Josh Moffat and Keith Moriarty's lead to 8.6 seconds. Gary Kiernan had hoped stage 5 would be his chance to climb the two-wheel drive leaderboard, but his hopes were ended with drive shaft problems crippling his time through Headley's Bridge before forcing him to retire on stage 6. Josh Moffat and Callum Devine were both at their battling best, with just 0.2 of a second between the Rally 2 rivals through stage 6, leaving the gap at 8.8 after 6 stages in Josh's favour. Kevin Gallagher and Ryan Moore still held 3rd in their Darien, 5.6 seconds ahead of Daniel Barry and Lorcan Moore's Skoda Fabia R5. Another fastest modified by Mark Alcorn and Donal McElhaney kept them within touching distance of a podium finish. They finished the Circuit of Kerry second loop 1.4 seconds behind Barry. Darren Gass's chances of a top 5 finish took a blow when he ran wide into a ditch and then subsequently retired in service with a gearbox related issue.
Thanks to our sponsors, Triton Showers, we have a giveaway here today.
Yeah, to all the people that subscribe to Rally TV, we have a lovely Triton T90 shower generously given to us by Triton. So all you have to do is comment under this video and also subscribe to Rally TV IRL and you're in with a chance of winning this.
Before we visit the last loop of stages, let's check out Kerry's class winners. Jack Brennan and John McGrath took a start-to-finish victory in Class 1. Jack finished 66th overall and improved his tarmac pace further throughout the day. Class 2 was led from start to finish by Ryan McHugh and Declan Boyle in a Rally 4 Fiesta, initially chased by Matthew Boyle and Gary Byrne. Boyle dropped time on the last loop though, which left McHugh to win Class 2 by 40.5 seconds from Cian Caldwell and Liam Egan. Paul Cloke and Liam Howlett led from start to finish from Francis Kelly and Casey McKeown in their Honda Civic. After the first 3 stages, Dylan Donoghue and Kersey O'Callaghan led by 30.9 seconds over Tomas O'Rourke and Thomas Scallon, also in a Mitsubishi Evo 9, who made a slow start. But Donoghue and O'Callaghan retired on the second loop of stages, with O'Rourke and Scallon cruising to a class win. Steve Wood and Kenny Hull in their Fiesta WRC led from start to finish from Michael O'Brien and Michael Maher, also Fiesta mounted. Class 9 had a healthy entry of 7 crews. Midland winner Lloyd Hutchinson and Willie Fitzpatrick in a Mini led from start to finish, but the battle for second and third in class was immense between Eamon Barrett and Pat Ryan. Barrett just held on to second place from the hard-charging Ryan. PJ O'Dowd and Patrick Lawler led Class 10 from start to finish. Local crew Darren Young and Sean Walsh took the Class 11F honours from Stage 1. Their nearest challengers were Sam Johnson and David Gibbons, also in a Civic. Johnson closed to within 10 seconds on the last loop, but it wasn't enough to overpower Young for the class win. Mark Murphy and Damien Fleming took the honours in Class 11R. They led by 9.7 seconds over Michael Cahill and Connor Smith's Ford Escort after 3 stages. Murphy and Fleming extended their lead by another 6 seconds on the second loop. Over the third loop of stages, Hand and Crudden overtook Cahalin Smith to take second in class, 33.5 seconds in arrears from the class leader, relegating Cahalin Smith to third in class. Sean Moynihan and Pádraig O'Donovan led the all-escort Class 12 field after 3 stages, with James Cassidy and Donal Lennon just 6.8 seconds behind, and Conor Walsh and Sean Mulvihill 3.1 seconds further back. But over the final loop, Cassidy dropped back and just held on to second in class from Walsh by just 1.8 seconds. Moynihan and O'Donovan taking the class win. There was a field of 20 starters in Class 13. Margins were tight after 3 stages. John Warren and Ruth Ann O'Connor had a lead of just 6 seconds from Robbie Allen and Martin Byrne. With the local crew of Dave Slattery and Dennis Coffey in another escort, another 5.7 seconds further back. Over the second loop, Allen and Byrne retired, leaving Warren and O'Connor to extend their lead to 40.4 seconds, with Wilson and McCarthy closing in on Slattery and Coffey just 4.4 seconds behind. Warren and O'Connor managed to pull away over the last loop to win Class 13 by 1 minute and 11.8 seconds from Slattery and Coffey, with Wilson and McCarthy a further 16.3 back in third. In Class 15, Brian Comiskey and Damien Campbell led from start to finish. In Class 20, Michael Carbon and Dean O'Sullivan held a 6.2 second lead from Conor McCarthy and Gavin Sheehan, also in a Mitsubishi after 3 stages. Carbon and O'Sullivan continued to dominate the class over the second loop, extending their lead to over 1 minute over McCarthy. The positions remained the same to the finish of the 9-stage event. The championship class leaders are Kieran Rorty and Michael O'Donnell. In the Class 17 Historics, Owen Fogarty and Cian Fogarty availed of Rally 2 rules to take a class win without any opposition. While in the Class 18 Historics, at the end of 9 stages, Paul McDevitt and Ray Fitzpatrick had a comfortable 2 minutes and 49 seconds to spare over Welsh visitor Gwyndaf Evans and Jordan Jones. Alan Ring and Adrian Deasy led early on from the similar BMW M3 of Ian Davies and Gwynford Jones by over 1 minute after 3 stages in Class 19. Ring and Deasy extended their lead over the second loop but retired on the last loop, leaving Davies and Jones the class winners. In the juniors and in an all Honda Civic field, Jack McKenna and Damien Doherty, the Class 16 winners in Galway and Midlands, had a battle on their hands from Jamie O'Rourke and Patrick Brislane. At first service, McKenna was led by O'Rourke by 6.5 seconds, with John Michael Kennelly another 14.6 seconds in arrears. McKenna reduced the lead to 3.8 on the second loop, with Kennelly holding third. At the end of the 9 stages rally, O'Rourke took the class win by 6.2 seconds from McKenna, with Kennelly holding on to third.
Killian, we are 6 stages down here now with 3 to go. Josh Moffat is in the lead. What do you think of the action so far?
It's been a good race. Josh is sort of leading it from the front. Looks very unchallenged at the minute. The gap is only under 9 seconds, but still it seems to be that Callum just can't get into it today to overcome that. It could be the commentator's curse now, but Josh is looking very, very strong and in control there. He has 8.8 seconds. Then third place and top 2-wheel drive is Kevin Gallagher, but again Daniel Barry is chomping at the bit to get him on the stage, and then Mark Alcorn then is looking to get Daniel Barry, so there's plenty racing back the field. It's just Josh is going to be hard to beat.
Josh Moffat reasserted his position at the front of the Circuit of Kerry pack, fastest by 1.2 seconds from Callum on Special Stage 7 and a further 0.1 second on Special Stage 8 to hold a 10.1 second lead over Callum with 1 short stage remaining. The fight for third was hotting up though, as Mark Alcorn set another fastest modified time on Stage 7, incredibly just 3 seconds slower than Divine's time through the same test. Alcorn slipped ahead of Daniel Barry into 4th and was now eyeing up Kevin Gallagher's Darien in 3rd. 2 overshoots on stage 8 put Gallagher's podium position under further threat, with 5 seconds his advantage over the rampant Alcorn ahead of Kerry's finale. Chris O'Callaghan, Daniel Cronin and Andrew Purcell were in a battle for 7th overall, with just 1 stage to go. Rounding down the top 15 was Triton Showers pilot Paul Barrett after a titanic battle with Aaron McHale throughout the day. McHale finished 14th in his polo ahead of Barrett. 13th was Jason Mitchell, who was a late call-up from the reserve list. Enda O'Brien was 12th, just 4.7 seconds ahead of Mitchell. Steve Wood put a big push on the last loop to jump 2 places to finish 11th, growing in confidence but slightly hampered by running a short ratio gearbox, was 10th place overall for the Gracie's Bar polo of Michael Boyle. Chris O'Callaghan was satisfied with his day to finish 9th and 3rd in class 14. Daniel Cronin and Andrew Purcell had a day-long battle, going in Cronin's favour by 2 seconds ahead of Purcell for 7th and 8th overall. Richard Moffat could be well pleased with his result of 6th overall in the Circuit of Kerry. His smooth but fast run in the Class 14 Starlet clinched a top 3 two-wheel drive finish.
100, 1 right, 150, 2 right, slippy, watch it, 150 up mid. 1 right, 100, 1 left, minus over small crest, 20, 1 right, 40, 1 right, 150 up mid.
Kevin Gallagher, Mark Alcorn and Daniel Barry scrapped for 3rd, climaxed on the Circuit of Kerry's final stage. Teased by his 5-second deficit to Gallagher, Alcorn went for broke on the short Desmond's Grave test. Unfortunately, his run of modified stage wins ended with a trip into a bank, losing valuable seconds and in turn his 4th position to the consistent Daniel Barry. Meanwhile, Gallagher made sure a podium finish was his by setting a rapid 2nd fastest time to clinch 3rd by over 13 seconds.
Kevin, top modified, 3rd overall today. How are you feeling?
Oh, delighted. No, a great day to be fair. Good rally and with a good result at the finish. So happy out.
Callum Devine was the fastest driver over the Circuit of Kerry's final stage, sealing a power stage bonus point.
Callum, well done. After round 2, you're joint leader of the championship. Tell me how you're feeling.
It's a bit of, not too bad. Feeling good. It was a positive end to the weekend. We started the day a wee bit slow, so we did, and to get power stage points at the end was good bonus.
Josh Moffat and Keith Moriarty were crowned the Circuit of Kerry winners, cruising through the final test to seal a 6.5 second victory, their first of the 2023 National Rally Championship.
Joint top of the championship now, Josh. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, Callum won the last day there, so it's nice to get one back on him now. So, yeah, look at it. He drove us hard all day there. It was certainly close. So, happy to get the win and Cavan now in another few weeks. So, we're looking forward to it.
It's all over here in Tralee. The winner of round 2 of the Triton Showers National Rally Championship is Josh Moffat. We'll see you in round 3 in Cavan. But before we go, let's take a quick look back at some of today's action.
Join us next time as we head north for the Cavan Stages Rally, which takes place on the last weekend in May.
Irish people love their Triton showers. So it may come as surprising that we're asking you to get out of the shower! Naturally, being a Triton shower, you won't want to, and so we're gently reminding you to save water by taking the Triton 5-minute challenge. So, towels at the ready? You'll feel as good when you get out of the shower as you did when you were in it. Triton, for a cleaner conscience.